see a little more what's going on this one. All right. Nice having Corey there. Nice having Corey there. There we go. There we go. The students are using custom feature script on shape. And that's another really cool thing. That's another really cool thing. If somebody comes up with a good idea for the software, for the software, they can certainly submit request features, but they can also just program it themselves. Because there's a kind of very open source language called feature script where you can create custom features. How do you want to create help auto calculate for these challenges? For these challenges, big screen, the results are showing their challenges. And La La Land could then enter that value in the chat, and then that would definitely qualify as answers. You have to come in and chat qualify as those. I think that's pretty good practice. What do you think, Corey? Ready for the actual challenge?
You guys ready? That's
exactly right. Although, let's go back to CAD versus CAD. Not because I need extra time. We're just going to Just double check. Let's go. We bring this up here. All right, here we go. Bring up our wheel of fame screen there for a sec. Here we go. All right, here we go. So Corey, any predictions for this matchup?
They both have different ways. This one might be better. This one might be better. Depending on the wheel comes out. But they like all our models, like every model together. They're all good at different. We were talking afterwards. We were talking afterwards. This is a dual format. Where like we chose my best. We chose my best. And this one has no fill. And this one has no fill.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Well, listen. I need you to just stall for another moment. As we are going through this, I'm realizing that I'm on here. So maybe you could just tell us what students are working on as they are going through, outside CAD, what other stuff are they working on?
Yeah, so this week, we've been out for the third day. We have kiddos home. I just got back this week. We are have all the manuals. In my welding class, my welding class, hit it hard with that. Very cool. Very cool. It's a freshman level class, but I have freshman stuff. It's a freshman level class, that's the one we're going to have juniors. That's the one where we like to hard. We are finishing up. We are throwing together, and we are throwing together. We make some plans. We're making some plans. Do a wood project. We're going to make some plans. Like residential plans. Do a residential electric. We're going to wiring, residential wiring. How does a wiring? Everything wiring. How does a freeway? How do you shut the lights off? 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 How those relationships work. How these working together. How do you so cool. Working together.
Very cool stuff. Well, listen, guys, we've already got some. Letting the chat. Letting us know that you can see here that each one of these numbers is 25. We've got a number that represents. Let's bring this thing. Let's Here we go. Let's go. Next shout out to Connection. Here we go. Shout out to first drawing. First like it's drawing. 25 gets gonna be 25 gets drawing. First like it's drawing. 25 gets gonna be 25. You got 2 5. You got Jim. You got 5. You got 2 5. You got chat in the chat. Very nice. First very nice there with that 05. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So 05. So it looks like it's only 5. So it looks like it's only gonna be Jim. So 05. So it looks like it's only 5. So it looks like it's only gonna be Jim. Clairvoyance. So Jim has clairvoyance. So Jim, make sure they hit a lot. Let's review this guy. Let's review this guy. And let's learn a little bit. Let's learn a little bit about this guy. Let's learn a little bit. Let's learn a little bit. Long way to be part of. So we see Escalante. So we see Escalante. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about these
Escalante. He's our nickname. The nickname comes from the nickname. He looks like a skeleton. He looks like a skeleton. That's where official. But he has 4.0. He has 4.0. But he has 4.0. Something I could count. Something I could count. Something I could count. He runs 100 meters. He runs 100 meters. He runs 100 meters. He runs 100 meters. So 11. That's why that. That is running. Running. He was born in Mexico. He was born in Mexico. Food is favorite. He shows sheep for our local. He shows sheep for our local. Pretty cool. And it's going up against. And it's going up against La La Land. La La Land. We got smart ones going against each other. Smart ones going against each other. Our favorite music. Bossa Nova. One day. We put some music on. I gave some music on. She has a house. Three sisters. I know one thing I want to hit on. They have 11 spinners. They have blood happening. Blood happening. Perfect. Yes, they've been in high school longer.
So perfect match. Perfect match. All right. Cool. Well, what a great intro. What a great intro. What a great intro. What a great match. I'm ready, Corey. I'm ready. Don't forget runners. Don't forget runners. Don't forget runners. Units. You want to make sure you're millimeters, or pounds. I guess the grams and pounds. Make sure that you are using the correct unit. Kind of a fun model here. Here we go. CAD is first. CAD is from the Grand High School in Grand High School in Grand California. 3, 1, 2, go. What is this part? This part. This one. Toby is what's called Toby outer edges. These runners are going to need markers for this one. Markers for this one. Entity relationship. This is made out of ABS. The material has 20 kilograms. Let's flip over our runners. And Aaron C in the chat. Watch those always check your assumptions. Yeah, sometimes we have to put those notes on because we only have one thing not to work out. I think that's my hardest part. I used to put the title block. Yeah, it's not as basic. Yeah, it's not as I want to I'm not giving them. I'm not giving them. I'm not giving them. Usually I'm trying to on a sub day when I get as much as they get. So we saw Lala Lambs on the right. I like the way Escalante was able features and important. Always important. Always important to decide your origin location. See the world champion. See the world champion. See the world champion. See the world champion. And it says I got it. Says I got it. There says I got it. That's what we like. Very nice. That's what we like. Very nice. That's what we like to say.
What is Aaron? What is Aaron? What is Aaron?
He uses Autodesk Fusion. Autodesk Fusion. Autodesk Fusion. Autodesk Fusion. Yeah.
I came to this. I came to this. Found a hack. They found a hack. They found a hack. Use Chromebooks.
Didn't end up working out. Didn't end up working out. Didn't end up working out.
Well, we got some other. We got some other. We got some other in the chat. We got some other. We got you in the chat. We got you. We got you. We got you. Good luck to all the runners. Great to see you. And we got Tab.
In the school. Very nice. Let's see what else we got. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta spread out that end. Gotta spread out that. Gotta spread out that tarp. Gotta spread out that tarp.
Time lapse DSL. That would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be the hardest part. Yeah, that would be the hardest part. I think the hardest part. I think the hardest part. The really like. I don't want to really get down. I don't want to see dumb it down. I don't want to see dumb it down. Like 8 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, Phillips and a flat Phillips like Phillips and a flat Phillips like not much like
wow.
Even though we buy the whole big, even though we buy the whole, even though we buy the whole big, even though we buy the whole big set.
It's like Nidal and Nidal and Nidal and drawing 3D drawing. We'll definitely start adding drawing tips this year. All right, guys, let's get back to the action. All right, guys, let's get back to the action. We see that on the right. See that on the right. On the right. On the left. Circles in here, but the circles in here. Circles in here, but the circles in here. But the circles in here. One thing that we want to remember. Some of these radiuses are going to be called out as radius. And that's certainly as you work going to as you work as you are going just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. To the world of CAD. Starting from the center of the diameter. That's the diameter. Full size. Let me see. Print here. You can see that when we're looking. You can see that when we're looking. You can see that when we're looking at some dimensions here. R coming from the center of that where when we look at that means that's going to be one point to the other point, one point straight, other one point to the other point, one point straight, other point going straight across R50. This center point is starting R50. This starting R50. I'm pointing. You guys can't screen. But yeah, there's ways when I kind of how escalated, how escalated, how escalated, how times you run into every problem, you run into that problem, over doing those defines, and doing those use those tangents, use those as much as possible, kind of help you. I don't like math. I don't like math. I don't want to set the rules. Little bit of math, little bit of math, little bit of math, little bit of math. Yeah, that's the cool thing. Yeah, that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing. That's the cool parametric, rules. Almost are kind of merging. I really like that. I really like. Not so much, not so much math. It's rare that you really have heavy lifting. Area under the area. You don't do it using area. You don't do it using count. Do it using CAD. You don't do it using CAD. Just use all the areas like an area. Just use like an area finder in the CAD software. When I was doing CAD, first learning this combo software. I want to draw a rectangle. 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 0, 5, 0. Add a radius 2. Add a radius 2. Add a radius 2. Add a radius 2. Bottom bar.
bottom where all the textures, where all the variations, where all the variations. So it's nice to see that. 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 So visual.
Yeah. It's very visual. Yeah. It's very visual. It's very visual. It's very visual. Yeah. It's like a visual program. I think that's so. I think that's for people to kind of think of it more that. 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 Of kind of laying out these rules, laying out these rules, laying out these rules. Learn all the math. Learn all the math. Learn all the math. Learn all the math.
I remember getting drawing. I need a spot. I need a spot. I need a spot to start. Where do I base it on? Where do I base it on? I make so much parts like I make so much parts. I make parts like I make parts like swathers, all kinds of swathers, all kinds. Figuring out how to do it hard.
Well, it's good. I see a lot of lambs now. I see a lot of lambs now. I see a lot of lambs now going through and recognizing as radius versus radius. I think it's really good. So I think right now, we center point to that's got the center point located. Center point located. 250 circles in here.
Order of operations. I know how to get there. I know how to get there. I know how to watch other people. I know how to watch other people do it. Watch other people do it. I know wrapping your head around. Wrapping your head around.
Yeah, because
fancy.
Nice. He's got it good. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing with a model like this. With a model like this. With a model like where it's got all these different curves. If you do it in a different order, it becomes collapses.
One from last week. How I would have done it as a revolver. One with like the plate. 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 That was one. That was one. That was similar like that. Was similar like that. Like that. Dimension like that. Dimension first. I was showing them one for practice. I was showing them one for practice.
So it's cool. It's nice to see. I see on the left there. I see on the left there. I see on the left there. Take a look at all of right before you start right. This is definitely one of those some of you in the chat might be wondering. Some of you in the chat might be wondering. They're making sure Nice comment here from Ram.
Nice comment here from Ram. When I was a teenager, everything in solid 30 minutes. See people on the world from the world champ.
I saw one earlier where video plays. Is there a video? Is there a video? There is one. I know there is one. I know there is one. I know there's one. I'll probably do one later. I'll probably do one later. I'll probably do one later. Very least, at least watch it. Very least, at least watch it. Yeah. My kind of teaching philosophy. My kind of teaching philosophy. Get that part. You can get that part. You can get that part. You can get that part. For you. See how you did it. See how you did it. See how you did it. I know for as far as I know fully defined. I did I taught everything has to be black. 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 But I mean, so does it always have to? Does it always have to? Does it always have to? Whatever you're going to use, 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 you and your garage, you and your draw, then yeah, draw, then yeah, draw, then yeah, draw, doing this, other drawings,
yeah, yep, yeah.
Until we
saw,
until we saw, should be kind of coming down. Should be kind of coming down. Should be kind of coming down the stretch.
That's why. That's why. That's why. That's why. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Being able to go back. Being able to go back. Being able to go back. So much back. I have an older guy who has an older guy who has an older guy who has an older guy who I can draw way fast. I can draw way fast. True, but what is true? What is true? What is true? You got to start all over. You got to start all over. You got to start all over. I got to start all over.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
And tab in the chat. Tab in the chat. Tab in the chat. All these and then together. So here we go. So here we go. Here we go. Committing here. Creating that. Creating that second extrusion. Jim U says AutoCAD R12 says AutoCAD R12. That's the cool thing when I was that age.
Yes.
R12. I think it was like right between R12 and R13 that they added. Before that it was all. Just command. All right. Yeah, Lala coming in here. Lala coming in here. Final. A lot of profiles. She might have benefited from that extrusion while she was doing that extrusion. Like Metab was reacting more. That's me. They're talking about free CAD.
Get when it's free, but I mean, get when it's free. Get when it's free. Remember, get when it's free. Free for education. Free for startup. Like any startup.
And free for
All of a sudden they see that you're making $1 making $millions.
It looks like Lala coming in here now. Definitely someone that's called out on the print. And unfortunately, that thing on the left is going to down. According to my watch here, I think we are going to bring here. Clock and do it here. There's no one to let him understand. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's okay. We're gonna bring up the clock. We're gonna bring up the clock. We're gonna 5 minutes. We're gonna 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You guys 5 minutes. So close. So close. So close. So close. Double check some of her math there. Double check some of her math there.
I think she just looks at it. I think she just looks at it. She's pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah. Pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close. I think what happened when she rotated. I think what happened when she rotated. She said something. Or she said something doesn't look right. And she said something doesn't look right. I think that's probably happened. I think on the 2D show, on the 2D show, a lot of times at the end of the model, we see the final spin, and the final spin, and now we see him getting what's over-defined. Too much information. He's got too much information. Too much information. Too much parameters. Too many parameters. That's on shift. What exactly is going on there, and what she needs to change.
Looks like she's got like I wish they would make her then. I wish they would make her then. I wish they would make a little different color. I like the light race. 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 A little darker. A little darker. I don't know.
Well, that was kind of clever. Well, that was kind of clever. There is a way to change. There is a way to change that. You could write option, toggle sometimes it's faster. I get that too. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's see what Lala comes up with. There we saw rotating. Look at the frames. Look at the frames. Look at the frames. Look at you. Lala looks like maybe she's happy. Lala looks like maybe she's Hopefully, we're gonna be watching the chat. We're gonna be watching the chat here. We're gonna be watching the chat here. The clock of doom is running. And La La Land with the answer. 6, 8, and that is correct. That's 1 point that you have to win. Wow, that was a great Awesome. That is awesome. Wow. All right. Well, that already that was all right. Well, that already that was kind of any of the first round jitters. Awesome job. Let's turn back to our find out the next drawing. Give us a quick shuffle. What drawing up next? Winding down on our. Don't worry, we got some extras. Wow, great job. Let's hit this thing. Here we go. Let's give this thing a rip. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. Number 11. So congratulations to Jim. Congratulations to Jim. Jim has the wheel. That is really impressive. Really impressive. This is your weekend. No. They're still playing. Definitely go by. So maybe we can learn runners about these runners. That was an awesome match. That was an awesome match.
Yeah, no, so Escalante, getting after it. His brother actually translates so by default, how does that work? So he learned how to weld a dude. I wish he wasn't so involved. I wish he wasn't so involved. Maybe a little slower, maybe a little slower, maybe a little slower, maybe good at all that stuff. So good at all that stuff. Actually, his brother's in the chat. Actually, his brother's in higher.
100 meters in 100 meters. One of my roommates run. One of my roommates run. One of my roommates run.
I did distance. I did distance. I think I just had long legs. It was easier. Less easier. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's cool. I never really been involved. They truly are cross up and down, up and down, and up and down. You do cross country, right? Yeah. Escalate. Yeah. Cross country, yeah. Cross country, yeah. Cross country, too. Not anymore. He just runs, not anymore. He just runs to run. He just runs to run. And then she's very artistically. We'll do stuff on. Hey, drop a logo. Hey, drop a logo. Oh, I want to draw the really tiny. Oh, I want to draw the really. Oh, I want to draw the McDonald's. Oh, I want to draw the McDonald's. Cut that out of it. One time she did a Coke bottle, so many curly cues, and all these different. I was like, I want to cut this out. I want to cut this out. I don't know how. That's scale that out. So the learning was like, okay, I'll fix it. Okay, I'll fix it. You win and start out, and you win and start out, and it's very good at very good at through and finding out what you like, making things work, very artistic, very quiet. You were to watch her, very quiet. You were to watch her, lock in.
He's even interacting. He's even interacting.
Wait, 12 tabs. I forgot how many.
All right, guys, listen. We got drawing number 11. Are you ready, Corey? Are you ready, Corey?
I'm ready to have
Okay, don't forget to remind our runners. Millimeters, working in inches. All right, it's in inches. All right. Check your units. All right, here we go. Dern in the chat.
Allah Lamb's an XG hunter.
Yeah, contestant we had a few years ago. Egypt, if I remember. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do this. This next CAD battle. Between La La Lambs and Escalate begins. 3, 2, 1. Go.
What is the mass of this part in 0.x
pounds. I should say pounds.
0.xx
pounds. I gotta work on my templates. My templates are messed up.
You work late at night.
0.xxx. What is the mass of this part? What is the mass of this part in pounds?
And the unit system is so we are working inches, and that's what your guys right? Usually work right? Your students usually work in inches.
This is what they love. This is what they love. Show their skills.
Yeah, they're already both drawing from the top down. They are both. Let me just turn off that clock. They're both drawing from the top down.
Oh, Escalante doing a full. Deciding to center sketch. Interest.
La La Lamb's on the right. Deciding to draw that upper shape,
and then draw that lower shape, and then draw that lower shape
in the same sketch.
Anticipating the ability to reuse that sketch.
All right. And of course, these drawings are random. Some of them are maybe a little easier, a little harder, but they are all tier 2 drawings. Means you could probably get through them in 4 to 6 features, including the sketches.
Yeah, I think anytime you can center that, always gonna You don't have to dimension it twice. You don't have to dimension it twice. Auto.
Neck and neck on this one. Neck on this one. Both students creating the exact same sketch on the exact same plane. Wow. Escalete tapping into some of that speed that he's usually using on the track. Getting into this first feature, taking that 2D sketch into a 3D feature, drawing first blood. And now he's going to go back. He's going to use that same sketch again. It looks like, and perform another extrusion. Creating that plug section. Very interesting. I like this workflow. I really like this workflow. Figuring out what the depth is. Section of the plug. Looks like he's spinning this thing around, looking at it, making sure that it looks the same. We got people in the chat letting us know that they got it. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Flexing a little without spoiling. Love it.
Escalete's those corners going.
Using what's called a chamfer. So you guys can see rounded corners. We use a tool called, and then when the corners are just broken off like that, just kind of broken off, we call that a chamfer. So different tools that we use in different scenarios, depending on what it is we're trying to. This model's made from ABS. So we can see that. Remember this one's in pounds. Maybe just remind you they're all in pounds because they're all in pounds. Yeah. I'm gonna give him another chance. I'm not gonna count that one. I'm not gonna count that one. That was written wrong on the. So I'm not gonna count that as a. I'm not gonna count that as a guess. I'm just gonna remove that one. Okay, so Escalete comes in with an answer 0.508. That is not correct. That is not correct. Let him know that is not correct. Let him know that is not correct.
0.5208 is
not correct. Not correct. 0.52008. Not correct. I know they're not necessarily Corey's in the audio with them. Corey's in the room with them.
Take a look at your tolerance. Take a look at your tolerance. Take a look at everything across the board. That last one, not correct for that last one you just did.
Okay. Not correct. Yep. So we're giving Jordan. We're giving him just a free guess for that one. So he still has one more guess because that first one was correct. So now what he's got to do is he's got to look at that 2D and try to figure out what was wrong. Why was that not correct? Why was that not correct? FPV Kevin, the chat has got it. My older brother Scott Schnars, this is really cool. Go Legrand. Also, fellow Californian. And Lala Lambs comes in with an answer. 0.76774. Corey. We have ourselves a winner. Congratulations. That is correct. Well done to Lala Lambs is going to earn that second point. That is correct. Well done. Wow. That is awesome. Guys, let's put a GG in the chat for Lala Lambs getting through that. Wow, that is so awesome. 0.677 was correct. What do you think, Corey? Did you notice what Escalete maybe did wrong there?
I pulled out another print. I'm wondering if you did that 125 extrusion from the extrusion. You didn't account for it. You didn't account for it because that same face went up high enough.
That's what I'm thinking too. It looks like that extrusion on the bottom of Escalete is a little bit short. That's Escalate's again. Wow, well done.
Counting it off opposite direction. I think that's what it ate up half of his.
That's what I think happened as well. Yeah, I think he ended up maybe from that same face from that 2D face, but in the 1.25, which is on the front view, which for those of you who are watching at home, that's the bottom of the sheet. You can see that 1.25 is coming from underneath. So I think that's probably what we're seeing here is that extrusion is coming from a little bit of a tricky model there, a little bit of a tricky dimension there. What a great battle. That's why we have two matches to make sure that it is definitive. Lala Lambs, congratulations. Moving on to the final four, earning that prize from 3D Connection. And wow, what an awesome match! What an awesome match! Congratulations! Congratulations!
I'm gonna get these guys.
Let's get these guys swapped out. We're gonna go on to our second matchup. Don't forget, guys. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the like button. Runners all swapped out. Runners all swapped out. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share. What do we got as far as numbers? What's our like ratio? What's our like ratio? Looks like we got 62 people watching. We got people watching. We got 31 likes. Let's get that like count. Let's get that matched up. Let's get that matched up. 1-to-1 ratio on those likes. And guys, don't forget also, you've heard me say a couple of times, Toby.com, sign up for a free account. Sign up for a free account. Visit Toby.com. There's over 100 of these challenges, like what you guys from our competitors today. They're sorted by tier level. You can just do tier 1, just do tier 2, just do tier 3, just do tier 3. There's tutorials that are included. So if you're going through and you're trying to and you can't get through it, there's tutorials. There's tutorial videos to help you through these. And then when you're done, there's analytics. You can see how fast you can finish the challenge. You finish the challenge average time it. Like in this case, you can see that there were 560 completed this challenge. And the average time there was 37 seconds. 37 seconds. So you can challenge yourself than the average time. There's even a try again. So when you're done doing the challenge, you can hit the try again and see if you can try it again and see if you can get even faster. So check it out if you guys haven't seen it before. TutalToby.com/practice. And you too can try your hand, and it's also great for learning. If you're just trying to learn, you can set the complexity to tier 1. Very simple models, very simple models. Then kind of work your way up to tier 2, tier 4. Tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 6, tier 7.
We're waiting for that. We're waiting for that or whatever. 17 or whatever.
Tier 17, yeah. Tier 17, yeah. Let's go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks to our sponsors who did a personal donation. We've got some sponsors here on the corporate side. Solid Box, 3D Connection, and Mesa Makes the tournament as well as the tournament. Thank you, Mesa.
For the kids, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you. It's awesome. And we've also got personal donations. Sally D, Rigo R, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for being a part of this and for supporting. And if you're interested in doing any kind of a support, the easiest way, you can just use the super chat right down at the bottom of live stream. Or you can contact Vicky Chong in the chat. He can give you all that contact info. All right, guys. Well, now we're going to move down to our final match of the day. Dubya versus. How do you say it again? Weecho. Dubya versus Weecho. I think this is gonna be a really good match. I'm excited about this one. I don't know. I just got that feeling, you know. Yeah. Let's flip over. We're gonna do a quick practice round here. We're gonna make sure that everybody is ready. I think for this one, Corey, we're gonna use the other practice model. So we use the brick. And got it ready. And so let's take a look here at our runners. Make sure that they are all good. Make sure we got everything set up for this matchup before we go. Here we go. This practice battle. Between again. Dubya and Weecho begins in 3, 2, 1. Go. What is the mass of this part in XXX? No tolerance on this part. This is just for us to make sure that all systems are running. Make sure that everything from the technical side is working. And see what we got here. We got. Put the correct runners up. Here we go. We got Dubya. I love that logo. Dubya Cowboy. 10th grade high school student. Going up against 11th grade high school student. I like that lion logo also. All right, and let's make sure that we got everything. Crop this a little bit. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, he's going into YouTube to enter in that answer like that.
Yeah. 170.01. 170.01.
And that is correct. That was Dubya. If this was a real match, we would give Dubya the point there. Congratulations, Dubya. And we would give the cheering and the victory cat. Victory cat we usually save. Officially winning. Yeah, winning. You won the battle, but the match continues. All right, awesome. All right, and then on the left, we got going through, making sure all systems I think everything's looking pretty good here. Pretty good here. Let me just up a little bit. Bump this up a little bit here, like this.
Make sure you can get a mask. Make sure you can get a mask. Let's get one going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good idea. Okay. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he was faster than you, but I know he was faster that way. You could just draw one that way it all works. We can make sure it all works. And
we're gonna make sure that we got. Richo is able to get his mass calculated. Gonna resize some of this a little bit too. Chromebooks have got some wide aspect ratios.
And they got touch screens and they got touch screens and like they can stuff as they can. Like it's weird, but like it's weird what kind of like processing power they have. They just stop working. So.
All right, well, we're just gonna make sure that Richo is able to take that sketch, turn it into a solid, and then give us a mass. And that way, there's no surprises.
Yeah, I think you're in your inches. Yeah, I think you're in your inches tab. Close that one. Yep. And then see you have another one. Other one.
All right, guys. As we are getting these final things down, let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. There's a good chance to do some shout outs. Da Vinci joining the channel. Buy me a seltzer water level. Very much appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. Roll says Toby number one. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Rambro's Workshops is all the best to both you guys. It's got to be getting late. Rambro's Workshop is probably 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's Friday, so. Unless I'm doing the math wrong. Atse is in the chat. Another competitor in our professional level tournament. Atse is here in the chat with us. W came in with his answer. 170.0. Richo for the win. That's fast. All right, man. That's Workshop confirms. 12:30 a.m. FPV caps at 7 p.m. So this is nice and sensible. This is the kind of thing that I think we're probably going to start seeing this on the televisions at sports bars for too long. On a Friday night. This is what you got to put on. This is what you got to put on. This is what you put on the pub.
Cornhole has its own channel now.
No. Don't channel.
Stop. They can do that. We have a channel.
Metab saying it's 1 a.m. Yo, thank you for joining us so late at night. That is awesome.
It's the best time to learn. The best time to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
You're staying up late or
Alejandro, Toby the best. These guys are the best. These guys are the best. These guys are the true stars. All right, everybody good? All systems good?
We're all good. We're all ready.
1900 hours for GMU. Fits me perfect. Nice. Fits me perfect. That is awesome. Okay, let's do this. FPV Kev says, wow, that's dedication. Yeah, it's real dedication. Yeah, it's real dedication when like a runner from India, a runner from Australia against each other at 1 p.m. East Coast United States time. That was pretty epic. All right, that was our practice. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that practice. Let's turn to the wheel of fate. Find out what it has in store.
See what it's gonna be.
Shout out to Scott Schnars again. For being with us today. Means a lot to me, bro. Thank you. All right, here we go. Bob is here. Says my first time live. Rock Crawler is here as well. Yup, that's me. FPV Kev thinks it's going to be drawing number 9. Rock Crawler thinks it's going to be drawing 12. Jim U drawing 12. Jim U as well. Drawing 12. I would just guess whatever Jim U guesses. The JS. Our former competitor says 3. WS says 7. Very nice. All right. Oh, Jim U says adjust. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like this. All right, here we go, guys. Let's give this thing a rip. What drawing? What does the Wheel of Fate have in store for our runners for this match? 12. You should have stuck with it. You should have stuck with it. Wow. You had it and then decided to adjust. But you noticed that the answer was right between 12 and 4. Right there on the line. Right there on the line.
Right.
Crazy. You are spot on today. That one's going to go to Rock Crawler. Who answered 12. Congratulations, Rock Crawler. Jim Yu says, dang it. Exactly. All right, guys. So this is going to be drawing number 12 for our runners. So let's learn a little bit about these runners. 10th grader versus Wicho 11th grader. Corey, maybe you can tell us a little bit about these runners.
Absolutely, yeah. So W actually used custom exhaust tip for his truck. I think the exhaust looks a little bit better than his truck, but he definitely has a nice exhaust on there. What was nice is a whole sheet metal unfolded piece, and he welded it all together. So we started out with a 3D model on sheet, unfolded it flat to sheet metal, brought it back into 3D shape in the real world after.
Wow! So truly using the manufacturing capability, both on shape and then your teaching as his instructor.
Absolutely, and a lot of headaches, He figured out a lot of how to remedy the situation. How to remedy the situation there. A lot of learning happening there. He's also one of our just like teammates together.
So cool.
Pretty cool.
So we have, just so you know, I dumped all the fun facts onto this one side. Maybe we could just do like one or two. One or two for each of the other, and then we'll come back for the other on the next round.
For sure. And Wicho, another one as well. Breeds chickens as well. And he grows his own crops. Grow the crops for the chickens. For to eat vegetables, like what? Your vegetables, like what? Your favorite, or what do you guys got? Corn, squash, cucumbers, oranges, peaches. I don't know why I go to the grocery store.
Wow, peaches.
Yep.
Wow, that's serious crops. I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
Already finds time to do all the sunshade stuff. Doing all this other stuff.
Yeah, very impressive. Very all right. Well, I am excited to see how these runners do against one another. I'm excited to learn some more about them as well. Maybe we'll leave some of those fun facts for the next in between. Let's get into this. Don't forget, guys. Check your units as we come into this challenge. Make sure that you're working with the correct units. Here we go. Have the drawings been distributed? Okay, here we go. Guys, this first CAD battle between W from 10th grade from 11th grade begins. 3, 2, 1. Go! What is the massive this part in Rams? Now this is a special part because it's made out of red. It's made out of red. It's a newer material in the Tall Toby library. And you can see this is a tier 2 part. What is the mass of this part? Rams. So let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. We got W on the left, working from the Wicho on the right. Let's see how they create. It looks like W is taking the geometry that's at the top, looking down maybe, or we'll find out in a second.
And it looks like Wicho's doing it from the front. Two different approaches.
I like this. So we see that Wicho looks like he was able to quickly get in there and add some dimensions. Remember, this type of CAD is what we call parametric rules-based. So as you're creating the geometry, you can add some geometry. The most common rule is what is the size of the geometry. So Wicho is going in and adding those sizes, sketch lines. That can be a really nice time save.
Looks like Debbie's running into some connection issues.
Oh no! This is what you kind of alluded to earlier. How computers just glitch out.
Sometimes they fly, and other times they die.
Okay. We'll see if he can catch up.
I think you just click on it, and it takes yourself out. It's got you in there twice. There you go. You're good.
All right. Now we're seeing Wicho. Now that he's going through and created that kind of L shape. Also go through and create that bracket shape. This is a very similar technique to what we saw with Lala Lambs earlier. To create multiple contours in one sketch. And so we're going to see if this pays off for Wicho as well. creating this kind of wood parts. Wood is a new material. Wood is a new material. We just added it to the Too Tall Toby library at the end of last year. I'm very excited to have this is going to really open the door. This is going to really open the door for furniture design, brackets and things like that. And we're also going to see this year. An introduction of a new category, simply functional 3D printed. So some of the challenges that you're going to see on the Too Tall Toby are going to be parts that you can print out. You can actually 3D print. You can actually 3D print. You can draw up and then. I'm very excited to start releasing some of those challenges as well.
Before we came back to school, I went for a guest lecture. It was so I know there's a bunch of stuff like you can do welding. Welding together and you weld it as is. You can do a bunch of stuff. Woodworking joinery is being able to model that. That takes a lot of dovetails, with dados, all these different really cool. It's really cool to see how you can do that. So
it looks like Vincent C came in with a PayPal donation towards his tournament. Thank you, Vincent. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Thank you. It's great to be able to support this type of edutainment to help future generation of 3D CAD users. Got to learn in a different way. A lot of different ways you can learn. And different ways work for different way to help people understand. One thing that's always really interesting is how when people see these challenges, they'll say, "Oh, I could do that." I could do that in 1 minute. I could just do that. When you actually get in there and you actually have to sketch it up, it has all the geometry geometrically correct. Size. A lot of times you get surprised by how long it takes.
Yeah, no, I see. Looks like W is catching back. Wicho, I think, got hung up on his angle piece right there. I don't know what happened there. Geometry.
Yeah, I saw what happened there. So he created a line, kind of like what he's creating right now. Then he created a second line. The two lines were not parallel. So when he went in to put in the dimension between those two lines, it gave an angle dimension. Yeah, and this is kind of the tricky part about this challenge. Again, this is parametric CAD modeling. One of the parameters you can add is what's called a rule. And you can certainly add in a parameter to make two lines parallel. But if you miss, then you're not going to get a distance. An angle dimension. So he got like 179.5. But if they were parallel, it would have been 180. Wouldn't have gotten that. So. Very interesting to see how both of these runners are going to approach this. That could definitely trip you up a little bit if you're not familiar. Let's see what happens on the left. Here. It looks like W was able to get those two lines in parallel. Pull ahead in this challenge. Goes from having to do a full restart to pulling ahead a little bit, at least on the sketch geometry.
He's still drawing from that top piece, even though it's the front. It looks like the front. At the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, it's all relative, right?
All relative, right? Yeah. What is the mass? What is the mass? So as long as it's volumetrically correct, the mass should come up correct. Rockcrawler in the chat says, "Come on, Wicho. You got this. You got this." Yeah, rooting for you. Okay, so now we see that W was able to draw first feature created. See how he handles this brace shape.
Oh, and I'm wondering how he's gonna. I knew that was gonna pop up.
Yeah. See how he addresses this. Yeah. Maybe that geometry would have made more sense if it was centered. But does he know how to get that geometry to become centered? That's the question. Rockcaller says Wicho was my nickname growing up. Interesting. Fun facts from Rockcaller. I like it.
Nice.
I like it. And Jim, you noticing that this could be a spot. Definitely could be a spot.
I was thinking.
Yeah, we're not going to say it out loud. At least I'm not going to say it.
You say it too many times out loud.
Exactly.
Have him on next week and pick it through.
And look at Wicho. Wicho was able to get in there. That dimension, that 30 dimension there. So that's starting a little bit more correct. So if we bring up that 2D print, we can see here the dimension. It looks like both of them are going to need to figure out what that dimension is from the bottom of the that brace. And we got a super chat here from Edwin. Thank you, Edwin. $5 super chat. Very much appreciated. Thank you. So glad to have you here. So glad to have you here. So glad you're enjoying.
Very
cool to have a tournament. Very cool to have a tournament here.
High school students.
Mr. Fancy Pants, who's
Mr.
also a high
Fancy
school
Pants,
student,
who's also
won
a
his
high
match
school
last
student,
week.
won his
In the
match
chat.
last week. In the
Says
chat.
got it. Says got it.
Getting a lot of practice.
Nice.
Getting a lot of practice.
Yeah,
in,
good.
so.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to practice.
that's a great way to practice for these
Go
tournaments.
back and watch some of the earlier tournaments.
Some of the earlier tournaments.
Practice some of those models.
Practice
You can also go back through the.
You can also go back
practice
through
models
the
app at
tutaltoby.com/practice.
Look up those
Tier 1
look up those
challenges.
Tier 1
Start going through
challenges.
those. A lot of those have tutorial videos with them. All right, so it looks like Wicho has gotten hung up. I don't know if he's hung up. I don't know if he's hung up trying to get that dimension. He's trying to get that final dimension there. Final dimension there. We see another example of that. Telling you that things are over-constrained, over-defined, over-defined. It looks like he's. It looks like he's.
getting that extrusion going.
Yep. Yep. Like that doesn't want to commit though. He doesn't want to commit to that. He doesn't want to commit to that second extrusion. All right, and Wicho getting in there with a dimension from the bottom of the part. See if that gets him close to the correct mass. And we got W on the left. Look at he's looking at this part. He's looking at this part.
That second extrusion.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, on the left. There's something he does not like. About that first extrusion. Just trying to figure out what to do with it. And it looks almost like Wicho on the right is maybe he's wondering why. Maybe he's wondering why the sketch is strange. Maybe that's why he's holding up here. He's holding up here.
FPV is super close. W is super close. Is what he's saying in the chat. I mean, I can see the sweat coming down off his eyebrow right now. They're definitely super close. Both of them.
Both trying to figure out what to do. Remember, if you ever have a sketch, a lot of times what you can do is you can grab a blue, just move that blue point around and see what's still loose. Exactly. Okay, and W get ready to commit to this extrusion. Okay, looking at some different options. When you extrude, you do an extrusion using a couple of different options. This is really interesting because people have been on the tournament circuit for a few seasons now. They all are probably thinking the same thing, which has to do with the volumetric solve, whether or not this decision really has an implication or not on the final answer.
I think that's what's tying him up in his head. So
and that's what happens when you're in these tournaments. Even when you're just competing against the clock on the app, like you get really hot. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's why it's nice to do. Looks like he's committing. He's definitely taking a look here. And this is going to be in Red Oak. So what is the mask? What is the mask? Yeah, Red Oak. Maybe you want to just remind.
Red Oak.
All right, I think we're gonna see an answer here from W. Let's see what this answer is.
We got YouTubeception going on.
All right, and looks like W comes in with an answer. 0 grams. 0 grams
is correct.
Well done,
W. Comes from a full restart. The computer completely locked up. Is able to come back. Stage what we call an Ivan exploit, which means that volumetrically doesn't matter that geometrically it was a little bit off. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Able to get the correct volume. The mass is going to be correct. And wow, W. Well done, my friend. And I think maybe Wicho was just a little bit caught up there thinking about maybe overthinking about the idea of it being not fully constrained. So GG to W earning that first point, but it's just the first. You have to earn 2 in order to move on. He's 1 point closer. Let's go back to the Wheel of Fate and see what it has in store. What did you think about that match, Corey?
I thought it was pretty good. I know I'm sitting literally W is right here in front of me, right behind my laptop screen. So watching him, and he just talking to him right now. He's like, I had it drawn the whole time. I was trying to get that thing centered, and I just could have done the Ivan exploit the whole time. And I was like, yeah, me and Toby didn't want to say anything, but
the Ivan exploit.
We want you to do this the right way. Yeah,
exactly. The Ivan exploit. Yep, that's exactly what he needed there. So I'm glad he found it at the end, and it's pretty cool that he was able to come back too. We always like the story of the comeback, so that's awesome.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. First Ivan exploit of the tournament. Yeah, I believe that is correct, Jim Yu. Exactly right. Okay, so let's see here. Rockcrawler answers, thinks it's going to be number 7, and FPV Kev says, whatever Jim says.
Whatever Jim says.
Good answer. Good answer.
Whatever Jim says the first time, because he was right the first time.
Exactly. All right, let's let this thing rip and see. Uh-oh. All right, Jim, maybe hold off on the casino. Looks like we're going to drawing number 3.
3.
Wow. So W gets 1 win, but remember, you got to win twice to move on and to earn that prize. And we are going to go now to drawing number 3. Okay. All right. Let's learn a little bit more about these runners. They submitted some fun facts for all of us. Very nice of them to share a little bit about themselves with us. And Corey, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about these runners.
There we go. All righty. Yeah. So W, his favorite drink is Celsius, unless he has an empty stomach. We figured that out the hard way one time on a competition trip. I'll let your imagination run wild.
Wow.
He likes to ride his 125 SSR dirt bike whenever he gets the chance.
Nice.
And fun fact, he couldn't think of another one, so I took this one from him. But his teacher actually named his son after him. My kid isn't technically named after him, but they do share 2 of their 3 names.
Nice.
I think it'd be weird if they shared all 3 names.
Wow.
But
Very
pretty
cool.
crazy. Family traditions and everything too is from both sides, from his family and my family. It's kind of crazy that that's how they were named. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. Very cool.
And Wicho, his favorite drink is green apple frazzle, which is awesome because we bought one of those frazzle machines for our concession stand. So now we have one on campus.
Nice.
And he loves food, which just goes to show, I mean, he's got it all around him. I'd love food too if I had oranges and peaches and everything all around me constantly. So you can't beat a good peach. Peaches are so good. But
what is frazzle? I don't know what frazzle is. I don't think I've ever heard of
Frazzles
that.
are like, do you remember like slush puppies from like back in the day?
No.
Oh, I don't know what the East Coast equivalent is. I don't know what you call
it. Like a slushy?
Like a slushy, yeah, but they're not like the ices.
Okay.
Not the 7-Eleven Slurpees. They're like more like the granulated ice, a little bigger.
Okay.
Like chunks of it. So
like Italian
ice. We have a machine here.
Crushed ice. Sometimes they call it crushed ice, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cool.
And he works at the bank here, and actually the bank that he works at, we have here on campus. So it's kind of a cool little deal. LeGrand has a taco truck and a pizza factory and like a laundromat.
Wow.
And not much else.
Wow.
So the bank actually is in our foyer of our gym.
So they get a lot of opportunity to kind of learn some real world skills. That's so cool. Wow. Very cool.
Yep.
All right, guys, here we go. Good luck. Do you have any final advice for your students here as we head into this next match?
Just like always, check your units.
Check your units. Yeah, exactly. All right. All right, good. FPV Kev says frazzles here are crunchy bacon flavored crisps.
Oh, nice. We'll have to check those out.
A little different, yeah. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do this. Possibly the final match. W could cinch the win here and move on to the final 4, or Wicho could lock down a point, and then we could be going to the 3rd match. Either way, we all win. So good luck to both of our runners. This next CAD battle between W from 10th grade and Wicho from 11th grade begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? This part is called plastic drawer. The material is ABS. And we can see here that this is a little bit of a tricky part, a part you might slide in and out of a little, if you had a drawer slide it in and out. It's got a little dovetail on the front. Let's see how our runners...
The hardest part of the drawing so far was turning it the right way. Some of our runners had it upside down to start, so...
Oh, nice.
Good first move was flipping it the right direction.
Well, let's see how our runners attack this one. We see it looks like on the left, W has decided to start out on the top plane. Started out with his sketch here on the top plane. And he's going to be kind of sketching this thing, looking at it from the top, looking down. And Wicho looks to be doing from the front plane, drawing from the front plane. So we'll see how that ends up panning out for each of our runners.
I see Aaron C says, ooh, there's a good trick here if your order of operations is right. And I kind of think I know what he's saying, but part of me thinks I'm wrong. So we'll see how these kids play it out.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Yep.
I see like 5 ways to go, but
Yeah. So in a part like this, so we can see the trickiness about this. There's really two things that are a little tricky. One is that it's got symmetry. That certainly can be a little bit tricky, kind of getting that dovetail shape to be sized correctly based on that symmetry. The other, of course, is the wall thickness. When we're looking at a print like this, when you receive something from a customer and the item that you receive is a plastic part, a lot of times you'll have something like this note that says that it's got a wall thickness. All yellow faces have an 8mm wall thickness. So then the question becomes, what's the most efficient way in 3D CAD to get that geometry in place?
Consistently, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly, to have that consistent through the model. And, you know, is there maybe a better or a worse way to draw up previous features before you get to that? You know, certainly we have tools that we can use to kind of hollow out our parts, but is it going to matter if, you know, there's this feature here that doesn't have that wall thickness? Is that going to affect your order of operations?
Yeah, Aaron, see, that's exactly where my mind was going. It has to do with crustaceans for sure. Oh, but it looks like Rambro's got it and Mr. Fancy Pants got it right after one another. So
wow,
Fancy Pants is showing his skills, and
yeah,
he might be catching up with Rambro's. Maybe we'll just do a one-off, maybe Model Monday challenge between Rambro's and
I like that.
Fancy Pants. Let's see what they can do.
Exhibition match.
Yep.
Exhibition with the world champ.
Right.
So I see W looks like maybe he was thinking kind of the same thing we were thinking. Looks like maybe he's decided to kind of backtrack a little bit on this part, getting rid of that keyway or that dovetail, excuse me. And it looks like on the right, Weicho has decided to create this thing looking down from the top and including that 8mm wall thickness in that view looking down from the top. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Yeah.
Yeah, one of their final assignments they had to do when we first learned Onshape was making a nameplate, and that's exactly how they had to do it. They had to write their text, their font of their name, and then offset it by a specific amount. And so that's how they learned how to do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. The offset tool, always good to learn about the offset tool in 3D CAD. It can definitely help you save time and help you create your models so that they're a little more consistent. You know, you had said earlier, it doesn't really matter how you create your models as long as you can edit them and as long as somebody else can edit them too. You know, that's a big consideration also. If you're working on a team with other people, then, you know, your coworkers need to know how to get in there and change your models as well. And that's something that comes up a lot in the real world as you start working on bigger and bigger teams. You know, if you're designing a helicopter, you're not going to be doing it all on your own. You're going to be working with a whole team of people.
Sure. Well, I think getting the kids to realize too how many features, you know, sometimes they'll see that center line and they're like, oh, I only have to draw a part of it. And I was like, sometimes it's easier to draw the whole thing, you know. And we saw last week with the pattern tools, sometimes that helps, but sometimes it's more of a headache to deal with patterns and arrays and everything else like that.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing about the using that Too Tall Toby app, the Practice Models app, is that you're able to go through, create a model, and then start over and model it a different way using different techniques. And you can really kind of work through some of those challenges and some of those common pitfalls you'll run into. And you can say like, well, you know, which would actually be better? Would it be better to do this as a feature pattern, or would it be better to do it as a sketch pattern? And certainly there are rebuild ramifications as well. And most of the CAD systems like Onshape and SolidWorks, they have tools built into them that'll tell you how long the tree is taking to rebuild and how long each feature is taking to rebuild. So if you're ever wondering, you know, is this better to do it as a sketch pattern or better to do it as a feature pattern, you can determine that by using those tools. But sometimes it's not really that significant, the difference in time. And so it becomes more an issue of how easy is it to edit, you know, if I build it one way versus building it a different way.
Well, and I know you've been doing some practice with the like the thin feature or the surface feature, and I don't really use that a whole lot just because of the way we use the tools and what we use it for. But I'm like forcing myself to try to learn some stuff, and I'm going back and like I know you had one of your practice models is just a cube, like with a hollowed out component, and I'm like, well, let me try to do this using only that, so I get better at that function because I don't really use it all that much. Yeah,
same. Yeah, with Onshape, I find the thin feature in Onshape to be a little awkward to like switch to it and then switch out of it because Onshape remembers that you used thin feature on an earlier extrude, so it kind of like leaves you in that command. And so I'm trying to, you know, it's just repetition. It's like you got to go through and do it again and do it again and try to figure out like, okay, what is going to happen if I pre-select? What's going to happen if I don't pre-select? And you know, the only way you really learn that is just by practicing. It's like the best way to learn it.
Yep. Weicho looks like he's got it pretty much figured out, I think.
Yeah, I've been watching W, and I've been watching him. He's kind of up in those corners and trying to figure out what to do with those corners, and it looks like he keeps running into some problems. This is a spot where a lot of times I like to keep my sketches sharp, and then I add my fillets at the feature level.
End.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At the feature level.
On the 3D side, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why, because of what W is running into. But it's interesting to see Weicho as well. It looks like Weicho maybe is going to have a little bit of a hiccup in his upper right section there. There's some loose geometry. I noticed in the previous model, Weicho also did not lock his geometry to the origin. And although that's not required, it certainly can be helpful because then things start changing to black. And once they start changing to black, then you kind of know if things are defined properly.
Yeah. And Matab in the chat's asking, what does a red sketch mean? And it's angry. You've done something to anger the on-shape gods, and basically it's over defined, and it's got too many rules it's trying to follow. So if you ever see something go red, my students freak out. I tell them just what made it turn red. Like, go back one step and solve the issue and figure out what it's going to do. Was it a misclick by you? Are you giving it too much information, or what is it? So if that's what you're seeing there, is it's over defined. So.
Yeah, exactly. It can't be solved. It's over defined. Maytab, you could think of it like if you took a line and you added a rule that said that the line is horizontal, and then you also added a rule that said the line is vertical. It can't be both. So with Weicho, you can see that he's got a dimension there that says the line's 55, and then he also has a dimension that says it's 45. Well, it can't be both. So
yeah.
So he's getting red there.
Yeah, the constraint gods are very unforgiving, that's for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Like FPV Kev says he dropped a picture of Frazzles in the Too Tall Toby Discord. So
are those a East Coast thing, or where's FPV Kev from?
I don't think that's East Coast. I feel like maybe he's
Canada,
from
maybe?
Yeah, or maybe from the UK. I think FPV Kev might be in the UK.
I'll send a picture later of our UK. Awesome. Yeah, maybe I'll send you an empty box. You can send some to us, and I'll send I don't know if our Frazzles will make it your way. It'll be slush or literally just liquid by the time it gets to you. But
nice. Frazzles exchange.
You're right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, I saw. I think. Oh, there we go. He's got his dimension fixed down at the bottom now. It looks like Weicho's got.
Yep. Weicho changed that one to driven. So now that's good. So he's got that 55 there. And we're also seeing the W on the left has got his dimension in there in the right orientation. Okay, going in, adding in an angle dimension here on this side. Let's see what W comes up with for that angle dimension. I forget how that angle dimension is called out on the print. Let's see if we can bring up that 2D print again.
Yeah.
So it's called out as 45. Oh, that's a tricky dimension. So it's called out as 45 total. Look at that dimension. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's brutal.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's called out as 45 total. So they're going to have to figure out how they're going to do that, or maybe dimension it off the center line to make it a little bit easier, but that's a little bit of that's a rough dimension there. That's a Too Tall Toby special right there.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can see the W on the left has got his sketch all nice and black, fully constrained. Things are looking pretty good there. He's just going to need to figure out what to do with that dimension for the angle.
That angle, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course the.
And I think this is where being fully defined will actually help, because what's the angle between, and it'll. So.
Yeah. So he's good. There you go. So he's coming in. He's putting in that depth. They're actually both putting in the same dimension at the same time, it looks like, which is very cool. Scott Johnson says, those of us watching, Scott Johnson says, those of us watching live are learning from the runners' mistakes. Don't be discouraged by them. It's a huge part of the learning process. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Yeah.
I see W in front of me and Weicho. They're both, I think, ready to bust out some calculators and some scratch paper just to do the math on those angles, because they know what mathematically it should be this.
Yep.
And it's not a hard angle, so that's what's nice. At least it's not like a 27.896 or something like
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
45 is a pretty easy number to kind of add together, but think back to your math class, guys. How many degrees in a straight line?
Yeah. Exactly.
So That's the hint I'll give you.
So, and it looks like Weicho was able to get it in
Weicho
there.
got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
going from one side to the other. But if it's not symmetric, then
Yep.
Yeah, he's still gonna have to do that same math, like you said. So they're gonna have to figure that out, and they're both definitely getting close. I like watching them putting this together, and it's always really interesting to see. I gotta say, I completely agree with Scott's comment. Being able to watch them making the mistakes and kind of working through it is a lot of times the best way to learn for them. But it's also really nice for us. It gives us a chance to learn too.
I got real. I had to take some of that advice myself. When I was doing these YouTube videos, and I was like, "Oh, that was horrible. Let's start over." And I'd start a new take. And I'm like, "No." Like, I started leaving them in there, and I started getting way more videos done. And then people were calling me out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you messed up at this part." And I was like, "Yeah, but I showed you how to fix it." So
yeah,
that's the good thing, and that's where you learn. And ultimately, and Scott learned a little bit, I think, in some of my packet when I was doing it, and it's a headache trying to get some of these drawings, but I purposely make you mess up so you can learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jim Yu says, yeah, and nerves. Only setting a timer to work against makes me tons of mistakes and easy to sit in backseat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There we go. Math for the win.
Yeah. There we go. So I like Weicho's drawing is starting to really come together, and man, they're both just getting this dovetail in there, because sometimes, these are the kinds of lessons that are gonna stick. They're gonna remember this, and they're probably gonna go back and try it again later, and they're gonna say like, oh man, if I would have just done it this way, it would have.
Their next project is gonna have a dovetail in it. I guarantee it now. Just
Nice.
out of spite or pride, whatever you want to call it, they're gonna make something with this in it just because.
It's good.
I know that plastic cap, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, if we modified these, this is totally a hitch cover. Like, we can make something out of this. So
yeah,
I think we'll turn that into a project and
nice.
Go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It would be like a hitch cover or plug or something like that.
Yeah.
So it looks like
people ask us for hitch covers all the time, and I'm like, I don't want to run into that. Like, we're gonna be cutting it out of metal. I've smoked my shin on so many hitches that that's the last thing is I don't want your super sharp logo sticking out of the back. And yeah, the high school made that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make something nice and rounded off. Some fillets. We'll add some fillets to it, right?
Yep.
All right, so we see on the left there, W, able to get through and create and do first blood. It looks like he's kind of like, you know what? My model looks like maybe it's close. Maybe I'll just lob it an answer and see what happens.
Yeah.
And guys, Victor K is in the chat. Another former world champion, our 2023 world champion, Victor K, is here with us in the chat. What's up, Victor K? Thanks for joining us. Great to see you in here. Very cool.
Yeah, yep, that's me. He says 3D prints and TPU for the hitch cover. I know, I feel like I need to get back into my 3D printing game. I have like 5 personally.
Yeah.
And like right when TPU came out, that's when I started like going on the decline on mine.
Well, it's
They're
funny.
all out of tolerance now, and I need to get stuff going. So
yeah, it's funny you say that. I'm feeling the exact same way. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I've been doing more with looking at like functional 3D printing, and it's definitely making me want to get back into it. So
we have one of those Mark Forged ones here on campus that we were able to use like carbon fiber inlays and fiberglass inlays. There's one we can do Kevlar. I was like, oh, let's make a bulletproof phone case. Let's just see what we can do.
Yeah,
why not? Because we have it, right?
Use that one all the time.
Oh, but looks like W is going to come in with an answer here.
Okay, let's see.
He's got his mass table up, but he's shaking his head in front of me, so maybe not.
Let's see what ends up happening. And we got on the right, we got Weicho coming through, trying to figure out what's going on with his sketch as well.
And Weicho's got the pen and pencil paper out and everything. So he's working some figures.
Working some figures. Yeah, I saw with Weicho, he ran into that same issue again with those lines not being parallel. So he tried to put in an 8 on the, you can see he's got the wall thickness at 8 on the left. He tried to add that on the right, and he ended up getting an angle dimension again. So those 2 lines on the front of that drawer are not properly parallel.
Yeah. No, I see some things for next week. Who all the runners who move on, we're definitely got some practice things as a coaching standpoint, I can see some areas that would have totally fixed this. I know Aaron C's crustacean comment. I feel like that would have solved some of the problems we're running into with some of these. Yeah. So
we'll see. It looks like he's gonna.
We'll see.
It looks like we might end up getting an answer here from W. Let's see if this answer comes in proper through the chat. And W comes in with an answer 420.4634. That is not correct.
Not correct.
You can tell him that is not correct. So not correct, not within tolerance. And so we're going to make sure that we put an X there for W. He can still answer one more time. You're allowed to answer twice incorrect. So he's got to double check some of his dimensions. You know, zoom in, look around at that print. Oh, he's doing a full redesign of that dovetail. Okay, I like this. I like this use of the center. He did a midpoint line there to kind of get that first line in place at 55. I like that. He's dropping in a dimension here to represent the offset out to the edge of the drawer there. I like that as well.
Yeah, I think it's that Toby note. I think at the end of the day, it always comes back to the little minor details, little things that they seem. Oh yeah, duh. I feel like every time when I first started, I'd read your Toby notes and I'm like, yeah, duh, that's what it says. And then I'd get to the end and I wouldn't do that thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what he was talking about.
It's definitely a unique standard, a unique feature that you only get in the world of Too Tall Toby. But it's one that, you also will get it sometimes from customers. Sometimes customers will just put a note on the print that'll say, like, this is what I'm looking for, or you'll gather it from talking to them, especially when you're doing bespoke work, when you're doing 3D printing, for customers who are looking for some kind of custom bracket. They might give you, their own version of a Toby note. And so it's not always in perfect ISO or perfect ANSI standard, drafting standard.
Exactly what W's problem is. I got the print finally in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know if you see it.
I see some stuff, yeah.
Oh, yep. So.
W revising. So we'll see.
I gave all the extra copies to the kiddos in here to play with, and I was like, give me one of those prints back. I need to be able to look at what what I'm talking about.
See if we can make this view a little bit bigger for the audience who's kind of trying to watch along with.
Yep.
Not trying to block out the action, but just so that they can kind of see if they see what you see.
You see revising, checking all your measurements, making sure everything's up to par.
Yeah, we're gonna, and for ZN, we'll try and make sure that, I know that we're kind of giving them out a little bit of hints. We're trying to kind of keep it on the line here and not tell them exactly what to do. So we're gonna give them a chance to get through and model it with their own skills, keep it fair for both of our runners. Yep. Nicholas in the chat says, Toby's lesson on choosing the right plane and the origin to start on were the biggest help to me early on. Thank you. Glad that's helpful. Yeah. Always very important. Almost before you even start 3D modeling, even before you start your first sketch, you want to kind of just eyeball it up and think to yourself, where is my first sketch going to land? What's my first sketch plane going to be? Where's the origin going to be located? And those
that's something we want to turn this into a contest through the FFA too, and that's something definitely we want them to. I almost want to add as like a hands off, like a forced minute or two. You can't touch your computer for the first 2 minutes, so you have to look at.
You have to look at it, yeah.
I expect this thing to be all drawn up over and notes taken and.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I think we're starting to approach that time for the Clock of Doom.
I think so, too.
So I think we're going to bring this up. We're going to give these guys 5 more minutes. If they can't get this one, that's okay. We got other drawings we can try to give them. But let's take a look here at the Clock of Doom. Here we go. So we're going to give these guys 5 minutes to finish this thing out.
Right, 5 more minutes, guys, on this one.
And we'll see if they're able to finish it out in that 5 minutes. The clock of doom is now running. It waits for no man. It's interesting. I can almost see what W is thinking. And what he's probably thinking is, there's no way that little 2-degree deviation in the angle could be causing that much of an issue.
I know, and it's always the little things. It's the simple things.
Just gotta tell them,
overlook.
Tell them to double check all their dimensions.
So remember, double check all your dimensions. All of your dimensions.
Yeah, that's good. I like that advice. So I guess you could say sometimes you just need to zoom out to see the whole picture.
Yeah.
Victor K in the chat says sometimes you got to cross them off your screen capture along the way. Yeah, that is definitely true as well. The triangle made me nervous, says Sam A. Yeah.
All right.
The teacher could take these drawings and do a lesson on them. Yeah, exactly, Da Vinci. Exactly. All right, and we got an answer coming in from W, and that answer is 435 grams. And Mr. Mesa, that is correct.
That's correct. There we go.
Well done, my friend. Well done. And congratulations to W, locking down that second victory. Well done. GG. Wow. Yeah,
Good
you
job,
got it.
Weicho, dude. You were right there, dude.
Yeah, and Weicho was right there, just struggled with that extra line on that extra part, but that was not an easy part at all.
Yeah, no, that was...
And wow, man, W, congratulations. Moving on to the final four. And GG to all of our runners today. Congratulations to all of our runners. Wow, FPV Kev says, yep, W, awesome. I got 435 as well. Yeah, very nicely done. It was really interesting to watch W because it was that 260 that was getting him, not so much the angle on that dovetail.
Yeah, the angle you guys had perfect. It was your simple stuff, the stuff you know how to do that gets you
ends up getting you.
Every time.
Well, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of today's live stream. But I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you all so much to all of our runners. Congratulations to La La Lambs moving on to the Final Four. Congratulations to W moving on to the Final Four. We will see them competing next week on January 24th. And that's going to set us up for our final match on January 31st, our championship match. So I know we're all excited, looking forward to that. We're going to see the models get a little bit more complicated as we move into this next round. So we'll look forward to seeing some slightly more complicated models. But don't forget, before you leave, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share and reshare. And of course, be sure to sign up for our free account over at tootalltoby.com. You can do some of these practice models as well and practice your skills. And I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Corey Mesa. Thank you for being an amazing co-host today.
Yeah, I love it, man. This is... I think a big majority of our school was watching today, too. So that's really, really cool to see.
That's awesome. Well, you did a great job.